Feed the dog. You'll learn the spiritual lesson found in that everyday task in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. Most of us wanted one. Most of us talked our parents into getting us one. Most of us have regretted having one at least once in our life. What is it? A pet. How many times did you ask your parents for a pet? On about the 50th round, most parents finally give in with the caveat, it's your pet, you take care of it. And we promised we would. Around the 8th time Mom told us to clean out the litter box, we started to wonder if pet ownership was all we thought it would be. Still, even as adults, we give in to the urge and get our own pet, if only to placate our own children after the 50th time they've asked us. So whose turn is it to feed Fluffy anyway? Pets do teach a valuable life lesson. If someone doesn't feed and water the gerbils, they're not going to make it. They are our responsibility. We've got to do it. Besides, who can resist those big brown eyes? As Peter comes to the close of his letter, he reminds believers of a responsibility we all have. He addresses this to the leaders of the church, but the reality is we all bear this same burden. We need each other. Here's what Peter writes in the 5th chapter, verses 1 through 4. So I exhort the elders among you, as a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, as well as a partaker in the glory that is going to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God that is among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but willingly, as God would have you, not for shameful gain, but eagerly, not domineering over those in your charge, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the unfading crown of glory. Peter no doubt remembered his conversation with Jesus recorded in John chapter 21, where Jesus asked Peter if he loved him. When Peter responded that he did, Jesus simply replies, "Then feed my sheep." Peter realized that as we grow in our faith, we all have the responsibility to look around, to help those who follow after us. Everyone has someone, whether it's someone you have led to the Lord or someone you know who is struggling in their faith. Jesus calls us to reach out to them, to encourage them, to feed his sheep. We've all been there. The new guy, the new student, the new employee. It's easy to feel completely lost in that situation because we usually are. We don't know where the pencils are. We don't know where the copier is. And most importantly, where is that coffee pot? Then someone steps up and shows us around. Suddenly, what seems so terrifying turns out not to be so bad after all. What's true in the business world should be even more true in the church. We all know a new believer or a believer who is struggling. We can be that person who encourages them, who steps up to feed our Savior's sheep. Peter reminds those reading his letter that it's God's church, not their church. These are Jesus's sheep, not their sheep. When they serve their fellow believers, they are serving Christ. And as we serve, we will lead others to serve as well. The story is told of Benjamin Franklin that he realized the need for lighting in the streets of Philadelphia. So he took his own lantern, lit it, and set it outside his door. It wasn't long before his neighbors took notice and began to set their lamps on their porches, slowly lighting the entire city. We can do the same. We can become a beacon of light for those around us who need encouragement in the Lord. And as we do, they will learn to do the same. You remember the old children's song, "This Little Light of Mine"? Who needs to see your light today? You can shine bright. And now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.